Dr. Ilara Voss tightened her grip on the console as the station trembled. She had spent the last 5 years aboard Outpost Helios, a deep space research station floating near the event horizon of a massive, uncharted anomaly. The void beyond was unlike anything humanity had ever encountered, an abyss that consumed light, yet whispered echoes of something alive. Dr. Voss, the AI Orion, chimed, "The anomaly is behaving erratically. Unidentified energy signatures detected within the station." Ilara's stomach knotted. The last crew had vanished without a trace. She was sent to investigate. Until now, she thought it was an accident. A faint knock reverberated through the corridor. Her breath hitched. There was no one else aboard. Slowly, she moved toward the source, her footsteps weightless in the artificial gravity. The corridor lights flickered. A shadow shifted ahead. The station's metal walls groaned as if something immense pressed against them from the outside. The knock came again. Ilara raised her wrist console. "Orion, scan for life forms." A pause. Then, static. And a whisper. "Help us." The voice was fractured, layered, as if spoken by 1,000 different versions of the same person. Ilara's fingers trembled. She reached out and, against all reason, pressed the door control. The air shimmered. She gasped. Standing before her was herself. A dozen versions of her, each slightly different. Some younger, some older, some gaunt and hollow-eyed. They all spoke in unison. "You have to leave, before it takes you too." Behind them, the abyss pulsed, and something inside it watched. The station shuddered again, and Ilara knew she was already too late. The signal arrived at 0200 hours, weak, distorted, and impossible. Commander Elise Warren of the Vigilant frowned at the pulsating red indicator on her console. "Unregistered transmission," her AI assistant, Solus, reported. "Source unknown. Origin timestamp. Inconsistent." Elise sat up. "Clarify." "The transmission is both 47 years old and occurring in real time." A chill crept up Elise's spine. That wasn't possible. A signal could be an old recording bouncing through space, or it could be live. It couldn't be both. "Patch it through," she ordered. The comms crackled. At first, only static. Then, a voice. Weak, distorted, human. "This is Captain Reese Carter of the Orion's Wake. If anyone can hear this, we need help. We are caught in—" The message cut out. Elise's breath hitched. Everyone knew that name. The Orion's Wake had been the first deep space colony ship to attempt faster-than-light travel nearly half a century ago. It had never arrived at its destination. Solus spoke. "Captain, I have analyzed the trajectory. If the Orion's Wake continues on its path, it will intersect our location in—" A pause. 2 minutes. Elise's hands clenched into fists. "That's not possible." She turned to the viewport. And then it appeared. The Orion's Wake drifted into view, flickering between states of existence. Parts of it were pristine, others weathered by decades. Its hull shimmered, breaking apart and reforming, like a mirage caught between realities. A burst of static exploded in Elise's earpiece. Then the voice returned. Closer now. "We tried to stop. Every time we tried, we slipped further. If you're hearing this, don't let them find you. Don't—" A screech of interference cut him off. The Orion's Wake trembled. And then it was gone. The signal fell silent. Elise stared at the empty void. Only one thing remained on her screen. A final message, blinking softly. "We see you, Vigilant. 47 years from now, you will see us again. No stars, no light, just the dead thing in the dark." Commander Ronan Holt stood at the viewing panel, jaw tight. The station drifted ahead, a behemoth of metal and shadow. No registry, no distress call. It wasn't supposed to exist, yet here it was. "Still nothing?" he asked. Sienna Vale, his comms officer, pressed an earpiece tighter. Nothing, she murmured. There's a sound. Holt turned. A distress signal? A pause. A heartbeat. He didn't like that. No one did. They boarded anyway. Inside, the air was thick. Wrong. Their boots scuffed against steel dust, the remnants of something long forgotten. Walls loomed high, lined with screens that flickered to life at their presence. No bodies, no logs, just the whisper of power still humming through unseen veins. Holt led the way, rifle steady. Down the hall, left again. The layout made no sense. Corridors bending, shifting, repeating. A trick of the mind. Had to be. Then the lights stuttered, and the whispering began. Soft at first, the crackle of an old transmission. You shouldn't have come. A rush of static. Then silence. Holt's pulse hammered. He turned, counted heads. Sienna, Carter, Lowe, missing one. Where's Torres? No answer. Then the walls breathed. Holt barely had time to scream.